Okay, hi everyone. It's Andrea here from Admire PR, and I'm with Tom Garland from Arobase. And we're going to have a bit of a catch up about the way Tom has developed his company and developing their corporate responsibility, really, the way that they're bringing that to fruition. So, Tom, so tell me how Arobase started. Let's have your story.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And again, thanks for having me on today. So we started Arbase as a little bit of a freelance partnership between myself and Andrew, fellow co-director. We met in university. We were working on a load of freelance projects sort of separately, and decided on a project that was a little bit too large for myself. We decided to pool resources on that one project. And sort of from that point onwards, every project that we then had, we then decided to work on together. So that wasn't kind of where the story first sort of continued exactly from there. We ended up sort of studying university, we both graduated the same university. We lived together for a little bit afterwards and actually ended up working in the same branding agency in Cardiff for a couple of years afterwards. So our kind of professional careers definitely aligned throughout our entire time in Cardiff. And it sort of got to a point where our freelance work was really kind of taking up the majority of our evenings and the weekends. We were building quite a bit of a following and a relationship with a lot of our clients. We decided that it probably made sense to just commit to this full time. So that was about 4 years ago. We took a plunge. We both quit our full time. I moved to Bristol. Andrew's based in London at the moment, hoping to move to Bristol shortly. And then over the 4 years, we've just been sort of building our client base up, developing our skills, and sort of culminated in the last year, which although was a bit of an odd one, we've finally got our studio set up, which is where I currently am now. And yeah, that's pretty much how we've got to be where we are.
That's great. I mean, that you started out as students and working together. I think that some people, students get a bad reputation sometimes, don't they? Like
Yeah.
for partying, not that they can at the moment, but that, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's so many stories I hear like this of people meeting at uni and working together and then carrying on. That's great. So what would you say your key values were as a company? What is the, what is it all about? What are your why have you set it up in the way you have?
Yeah, sure. So our main sort of a driver really was that we weren't quite sold on the way that we were working before in a larger agency, and we felt like there was work that we could do that was to the scale of a large agency, but we could offer that to smaller clients. And that was our main real driver. So it was about sort of being able to support smaller businesses, but with a big agency service. And that's kind of always been our sort of drive over the 4 years. Obviously, a massive value of what we do is creativity and making sure to in input that into everything that we do, whether that's the decoration of space we've got behind us or just our attitude towards any project. It's a massive driver for us, obviously creativity, and just hoping that creativity, as I'll talk about more, stems into some of the ideas that we've got with our internship programs and things like that also.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's great. And I've worked in big agencies as well, and there's some amazing work gets done. But I also, I believe that all companies can get that kind of expertise. It's possible. So I really like the way you've aligned yourself to doing that. So you've got a real sort of strategy at the moment to do good in business. You've got charity partnership, you just mentioned your internship program. I know you've got other partnerships for your carbon offsetting and that sort of thing. So yeah, tell me a bit about the sort of process of starting out with these ideas.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's probably important to note a lot of these initiatives are actually have happened fairly recently and have all happened sort
Mm.
of off the back of the last year that we've had. But they've been in our minds for quite a large bit of time. And I mean, like the carbon offsetting we've been doing with ecology is a very, I think it's the very foundation that any business can really do. And I think just doing it is very much the basic that we could do, and it's the least that we could do to sort of make sure that we're at least putting more in than we're taking out.
Yeah.
But there's still so much to be done in that area, and obviously I think sustainability is becoming one of those issues where it's not really a CSR thing. It's something that you absolutely have to be trying to do and trying to make some effort to do in your business. Otherwise, your business isn't going to be sustainable into the future. It's becoming such a driver in the industry that we had to make sure that we were at least getting the ball rolling. So that's very much the first stage of what we hope to do with sustainability. We're going to see how that goes, and hopefully make even more changes towards that. But the internship program is something we're quite proud of being able to launch now. I think that's something that's always been, I can't speak for Andrew as he's not here, but it's something that's always been an important part of my feeling towards what I wanted to do as an agency, and I wanted to be able to give this back to the students and graduates in a similar place that where we were. Um,
Yeah.
we came out of university, and I was offered a placement straight away, and it was such a massive part of being able to grow who I was as a company, and just to build my skills. And that internship program, I'm always very grateful that I was able to be taken on as an intern in the agency that took us on. And I just wanted to make sure that's still present. But a really important thing about our internship placement, and it sort of feels ridiculous that we have to say it, but our internships are paid, and there's this real insidious feeling in our industry that like interns should work for free, and
Yeah.
and it's very, very rife in the creative industry that there are unpaid internships, and it just doesn't sit right. So we're making sure that if we're offering these opportunities to interns, it's not just like, oh, you can boost your exposure by working for our agency and get something on your CV. Like, you'll be paid for the time that you're here as well, and you'll be paid a living wage for that. No matter whether that's a few hours, whether that's remotely due to the issues of COVID as it currently is, or if that's actually in the studio. And so that's something we're really, really proud of, and we're hoping we've obviously only just launched that.
Yeah.
But it's a really exciting thing that we have launched, and we're really proud to be sort of already making headway with having a few interns lined up over the summer and over the next sort of Easter break as well. So that's quite exciting. And then obviously, yeah, you alluded to the fair share stuff. Again, that was off the back of us having quite a good financial year last year, and almost a little bit guilty of that, I think, and feeling a little bit like, although we've done well, obviously not everybody has, and so taking on a charity of the year, our first charity of the year, we were finally in a position where we could really do that, and where we were able to kind of donate ourselves and then put a little bit of time into fundraising. So we made a donation already. We've encouraged a few more people to donate, and then throughout the next 12 months, the plan is throughout the next 11 months, the plan is to fundraise a bit more and do a couple of initiatives, volunteer as well. So we chose Fair Share Southwest, who've been in Fair Share, the UK branch has been in the news quite a lot with the free school meals and stuff, but they do a lot more than that. They basically just support food initiatives all across Bristol and the Southwest, and it's quite important that we're focusing on our local community, to just help those that are in much need of it. So
Yeah.
it's a great cause, and we're really glad that they've been so helpful with us as well, and sort of discussing with us, and we've had quite a lot of chats with them about things we can do. So yeah, we're looking forward to the next sort of 11 months working with them.
Brilliant. And what advice would you give to other companies who, people might be looking at this now and think, okay, yeah, we've had a decent year, like you guys did, and what can we do? How would you advise people go about sort of looking into their community or helping out?
Yeah, I think try and do it with a little bit more authenticity. Pick a program or pick something you're going to do that you can actually feel like you're committing to and is important to you. Otherwise, you end up spreading yourself too thin, and you can end up doing things that really aren't that helpful in the long run. So there's no point in taking on 7 different charities and doing all these different initiatives and then not really giving it your full attention. and people will see through that. I think, again, like I say, we're in the very early stages of doing CSR ourselves, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but as someone that's starting out from it new, even taking on the programs that we're already doing, which are quite close to our heart, certainly the intern stuff and the fair share stuff, um, it's it's already like spreading yourself thin to just do the two programs that you really care about. So making sure that you actually have the enthusiasm and the authenticity to do something that is true to your values, your business. It's always important to make sure that's aligning. We chose the fair share stuff because we do quite a lot of work in the food and drink industry, and it just sort of made sense as our company values to be then supporting the food and drink industry as well in that sense. And again, obviously, I've mentioned before about the internship program being something that has helped us in our career, and we wanted to help more people in their career as well. But it'd be quite easy to take on another 5 things that weren't really that valuable to us as a business, and then people, I think, will start to see through that you're just doing that for the sake of it, rather than doing it because you truly believe it's a good thing to do. So that would probably be my main piece of advice. Would just be authentic about the things that you were choosing to do.
I think that's brilliant advice, Tom. And yeah, that genuine link it's just so important because then it benefits everybody. Thank you so much for your time and talking to me today. It's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Arobase come up with next.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Andrea. Take care.